Hello students, how are you? In the previous video we have started the new chapter that was natural resources. Okay, in the previous video we talked about some general information that what are resources. Then these are classified into two types, that are natural and the man-made resources. I told you that the man-made resources are the synthetic resources and the natural resources are the resources which occur in nature itself. Okay, the first natural resources that we started to discuss was about air. Okay, then we discussed about the composition of air, that is about this our atmosphere, that what is the composition of air. I told you that nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 21% and other gases constitute 1%. Okay, we also discussed about that the amount of carbon dioxide this present on Mars and Venus is more, so that's why comparatively the temperature is more over there. Okay, then when we were discussing about the wind. What is wind? I told you that the wind is the flow of air. The air flows, the important thing, it flows from high pressure to low pressure, and that flow of air, students, is known as wind. Okay, so we discussed yesterday also that sea breeze and the land breeze. Let's quickly go through it, okay, because it was an important topic. Okay, so winds in coastal regions. What happens during the daytime? The land in coastal areas gets heated faster than the sea, and as a result the air above the land rises above and creates a region of low pressure. Then the air above the sea moves to this region of low pressure. This creates wind in the coastal area during the daytime. Okay, now you can see that the ground is getting heated up faster than the sea. So what happens? Air also gets heated up and rises to form area of low pressure. See students, why does the heat, or you can say sorry, air that rises up? Because it becomes lighter, because things on heating get expanded. Okay, and similarly if we talk about the surface over the sea, it does not get heated as quickly as land, so the air is comparatively cooler there, and it is cooler, so it is denser also, and because it is denser, so it is heavier, so it does not go up. So wherever the air is present in more amount, there will be obviously a more pressure, high pressure, and where there will be less air, there will be low pressure. So two areas are formed, that is the high pressure area and the low pressure area. Okay, and from there that the cool air over the sea blows towards the land that is at low pressure, replacing the warm air, and this phenomena is known as sea breeze. Okay, clear students? This phenomena is known as sea breeze. Then we discussed the second one, that was during the night time. What happens during the night time? See that the land cools down faster than the sea. The air above the sea, being warmer, rises above and creates an area of low pressure, means opposite to that. As a result, air above the land moves towards the sea. This one is known as land breeze, and this occurs at night. Okay, very important thing, the sea breeze that we discussed just now was in the daytime, and the land breeze occurs during night time. See this one, that the land loses heat faster than the sea at night. Okay, we discussed in the previous video also that land gets heated up and gets cooled down very fast as compared to the water. Okay, so it will lose heat also faster, so there will be more cooling of the air. So the more cooler the air, more heavier it will be, so it will sink down to form an area of high pressure. But this time sea will be comparatively at high temperature. Because of high temperature, there will be warmer air, it will rise above, and now the places changes. In the daytime, the places above the sea was high pressure and the place above the land was low pressure, but in this it get opposite. The place above the sea is now this time low pressure and the place above the land is high pressure. Okay, and this time the cool air from over the land blows seawards and replaces warm air over sea, forming land breeze. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you that the difference between sea breeze and the land breeze. Clear students? And then in the last we discussed other factors that also affect the formation of winds. That was uneven heating of the earth atmosphere, the rotation of the earth, and the presence of the mountains on the earth. I told you a very good example, that if you might have been to any hill station, because it is at high altitude means it is at height, that's why there the temperature is comparatively low. Okay, next topic is the formation of clouds. Shall we start? Okay, See, as the water bodies on the earth get heated up, water vapor is formed which is carried out in the atmosphere through hot air. See students, this formation of cloud you have studied many times, okay? In the junior classes also you have studied. So let's discuss. Water bodies on the earth get heated up, water vapor is formed which is carried out in the atmosphere through hot air. When the air rises, it expands and cools down. The water vapor present in the air also cools down and forms tiny water droplets. Because you know why it is getting cooled down? Because at certain height the temperature keeps on decreasing, and as the temperature keeps on decreasing, the condensation process takes place. What is condensation? Condensation is the conversion of gases to liquid. Okay, so the condensation process takes place. There are other particles such as dust present in the air. These particles act as a nucleus to these droplets. Now what is the nucleus? Nucleus, it is the central part. Okay, if you have studied in the structure of atom, it is a central part around which electrons are revolving. Similarly, these dust particles act as a central particle and the liquid droplet is formed around these. Okay, so these particles, which one? The dust particles that are present in the air, they act as a nucleus to these droplets. The droplets condensate further and form large droplets and thereby the clouds. Once they become very heavy, they fall off onto the ground as rain. If the temperature of the air is very low, it results in snowfall at some places. And the wind flowing in an area also affects the rainfall of that place. Now, these things are all dependent on the temperature. The lower is the temperature, more will be the rainfall, or you can say comparative to the snowfall. Why? Because more condensation will take place. Okay. First of all, it needs high temperature. Why? For the evaporation. More high temperature, more will be the evaporation, more will be the rain. Okay, and similarly when the air goes upward, what happens? It gets expanded, and then it's going to cool down due to less temperature. That process is condensation, and then it comes down as a rain. Okay, another important thing, that the dust particle present in the air, they act as a nucleus to these droplets. Okay, so this is the formation of cloud. Now this diagram will show you better what happens, that due to the heat of the sun, it heats up the water and the land surfaces. Okay, then warm air and the water vapor, because that the water will convert into water vapor. What is that process called? It is called evaporation, the conversion of liquid into vapor. Okay, but below its boiling point, that is known as evaporation. Okay, so evaporation process takes place, and due to evaporation the liquid turns into gaseous, and there is also air, and that the water vapor formed from water, it is also in the gaseous form. So along with air it start to rise. Why? I told you again, because the warmer is the particle, or warmer is the thing, lighter it is, and it is easier for it to go upward. Okay, so it rises up. Now what happened upwards? The temperature is comparatively low upwards, so the cold air meets water vapor and condensation occurs, because over there in the atmosphere the temperature is quite low. So because of that the condensation process occurs, and then this results in the formation of the cloud. Once there are lot of formation of the water droplets, means if the cloud cannot hold it, then what happens? The cold air, or you can say that water droplets, start to come down in the form of rainfall, and that process is known as precipitation. So this is a complete cycle, that first evaporation takes place, then secondly condensation takes place, and finally precipitation or snowfall takes place, depending upon the temperature of a place. If the temperature of a place is very low as compared, then the snowfall will takes place. Okay, so this was about the cloud formation. Okay, so again, now I think because of the diagram you have understood better. Now read these points again. Okay students, the formation of clouds. Clear students? So this was about the formation of the cloud. Okay, in the next video we will be discussing the next topic, that will be air pollution. Okay, till then students, you keep studying, okay, and keep making the notes of the videos that you are watching, okay, and take care of yourselves. Thank you very much.